Every day is a day at the beach here in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. Welcome inside the DeHornley Center, where LYNN University Division II takes on cross-town rival Division I FAU Owls as the South Florida Showdown continues. Hello, everybody. Ari Shannock, along with my partner, Mike O'Donnell. Mike, so much excitement here on campus.
It's a basketball showdown in paradise. Who's doing better than us right now? I'm having a great time. The coaches, the administration of LYNN University have done a phenomenal job putting this event together.
And this place is packed. Player to watch for FAU, the big center fielder, Ronald Delph.
He is a 7-foot beast down low. Auburn transfer. Delph is the anchor of this Florida Atlantic season. If he stays out of foul trouble, Coach Curry believes he can be a dominant presence in Conference USA. He has all the tools to average a double-double this year. And if he does, the Owls will be one of the top contenders in Conference USA this season.
And for LYNN Fighting Knights, they welcome back their leading scorer from last season, Jamal Palmer.
I really like Palmer a lot. He's a 20-point scoring threat every time he steps onto the court. Averages about 15 points a game, a top 10 scorer in the Sunshine State Conference, can do it in a variety of ways. Coach Price loves his ability to score in traffic. Doubled his assist total from freshman to sophomore year. He's just one of those players that gets better every single year.
Let's welcome in our third member of the broadcast crew, Olivia Stacy, with more on the South Florida Showdown.
Thanks, guys. Well, as you mentioned, tonight's game is a part of the South Florida Showdown, which is a 9-game series that pits the Division II Fighting Knights against 6 Division I opponents on their home court. But it's not just in basketball. It's also in baseball, soccer, tennis, and golf. LYNN wants to showcase the strength of their athletics, and they have an impressive championship record in a variety of sports. They've won 23 national championships in 7 sports. Women's tennis has earned the most with 6, and their most recent was in women's golf and men's soccer in 2014. They have yet to claim the men's basketball national title, but Coach Price is looking to change that this season.
And there's a good look at head coach for the FAU Owls, Michael Curry, in his 4th season, 37-84, his record with the Owls. What a background. Michael comes from 7 NBA teams, an 11-year NBA career, head coach of the Detroit Pistons in 2008 and 2009, 2010 to 13, part of Doug Collins' staff with the Philadelphia 76ers. And there on the other side, head coach Jeff Price, 386 and 253 on his career. He was the inaugural head coach here from 1993 to 99, led the Knights to postseason 6 times, Final Four appearance. He returned here to LYNN in 2013, transforming a sub-500 team into a Sweet 16 team in 2 seasons. He was Division II Coach of the Year, SoCon Coach of the Year at Georgia Southern in his 10-year tenure there, interim coach at South Alabama in 2012. And Coach Price also spent a year as a college scout for the Los Angeles Clippers.
One of the nicest guys in the business, Coach Jeff Price. He actually recruited me when I was in high school. I had some great conversations while I was in high school, and my parents still say, man, whatever happened to Coach Price? He was just the nicest guy ever. And I said, hey, Mom, I got his game this weekend, actually. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and quite a connection not only to our broadcaster here tonight, an ex-UCF star, Mike O'Donnell, but also a little connection with Michael Curry of the FAU Owls.
Yeah, Coach Curry played for Coach Price at Georgia Southern, and obviously went on to an illustrious NBA career.
As we get set for the anthem. sensational rendition. The LYNN Conservatory of Music features a world-renowned faculty of performers, and you just heard some of the students that attend that conservatory, which produces some of the most beautiful music in the area.
This is a really great atmosphere, Ari. You know, I talked with some administration for LYNN University before the game, and they want to turn this place into a mini Cameron Indoor Stadium. You know, they really feel they have the ability to create a great basketball atmosphere here, and so far, it has not disappointed.
Let's go to Olivia Stacy with the LYNN brand.
Thanks, guys. Well, there are some pretty sharp new uniforms that the Fighting Knights are debuting in tonight's game. They were custom made by Adidas to reflect the LYNN University brand, and you'll see a coat of arms on those uniforms. Spirit, loyal, honorable, and fun. Service, use talents to build a better world. And strength, champions both on and off the field, and that is certainly something that Coach Price has definitely instilled in this team. Guys?
Thank you, Olivia. The lights are out, and they are introducing the LYNN Fighting Knights starting lineup. Jamal Palmer, that's our player to watch here today. Randy Bell, the sophomore transfer. Alan Baez, the returning point guard out of Orlando. Rashid Worrell, the 6'8" transfer out of Bowling Green. Kevin O'Brien, one of the fan favorites here. He can step out and shoot it, the big man from Miami. The lights are on. That was Jeff Winter, the longtime public address announcer here at the DeHornley Center. He does a terrific job. The LYNN Fighting Knights were 13 and 14 last season, 8 and 10 in Sunshine State Conference. FAU 10 and 20 overall, a member of Conference USA. The Owls, Mike, they bring in 9 new players on this roster.
Yeah, you know, pretty interesting, Ari. They were picked 7th in the preseason coaches poll, but they actually received 1 first-place vote. They feel like with all the newcomers with the LYNN, there's a few coaches out there that really believe this is going to be a great team. They have capable outside shooters. They're going to play high up tempo. They have a pretty deep bench. They'll go about 3-4 deep on the bench. A lot of weapons for LYNN University.
And Randy Bell, and the transfer out of Holy Family University in Philly, he averaged over 23 points a game. He was 2nd in the nation for freshmen, 10th in the nation overall. Man-to-man defense for Coach Price. Pull up three-pointer, rims out, pushing underneath. And FAU will have a second chance. Battle for the rebound. Palmer fighting and picks it up.
That's a lot of Florida Atlantic's offense. They want to catch and shoot threes, especially after misses and offensive rebounds.
Here's Alan Baez, the trustworthy point guard for Coach Price. In the post, Worrell turns to face, short corner jumper, and elevating for the rebound is Ingram.
That's his move. He's very capable from 10 to 12 feet.
What a crowd we have. Open three. Weak side rebound, Worrell. That was missed by Troutman. He shoots over 43% from beyond the arc last season.
And he's got the green light. Catch and shoot all day.
And there's a turnover by Baez. Good pressure defense there by Adger.
So FAU is going to throw a number of different defensive looks at LYNN really throughout the entire season. They're going to play some strict man-to-man defense. You'll see them play some zone-type defense, but Coach Curry likes to call that a matchup. And he wants a matchup amoeba-like zone defense where you really man-to-man principles within a particular spot.
17-footer won't drop. Over the top and tying up Pfister is Bell. And this is going to be quite a competitive game, Mike.
Yeah, well, if I just look at that last play, Ari, you know, LYNN has the ball because of possession, but that's the 4th offensive rebound tip in 2 possessions, and they have to do a better job of boxing out.
Well, that's a big advantage for FAU height, that's for sure, with Delph, the 7-footer, and William Pfister, 6'10". Lynn's tallest player on the court is 6'8", and O'Brien and Worrell. There's an entry fee eludes O'Brien as he was trying to establish post position. So 2 straight turnovers for Lynn.
This FAU defense is pretty good. I watched them in a shoot-around this morning, and it was energetic, loud, aggressive. I mean, they are going to win games by making threes and playing great lockdown defense, and that's a really good example in that last possession.
We are scoreless through the first 2 minutes. Pfister, Ingram in the post. The 7-footer turns around, hits the back of the iron, and Baez has it, attacking the middle of the floor in transition. And Lynn turns it over for the 3rd straight time, and then Jamal Palmer picks up a loose ball foul.
You get the sense you've got some first game jitters, just trying to get a feel, and that's natural. We've got a long game left.
Yeah,
plenty of basketball left to be played.
Like first game in front of this type of atmosphere,
yeah,
not easy.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, but you should expect, you should want this, right? You know, if you're a player, you want to play in these type of atmospheres.
Edgar hangs, offensive rebound. The putback is shy, and that is out of bounds to Lynn. But as you mentioned, Mike, this is a huge advantage for the Owls on the glass.
3 offensive possessions for FAU. 6 times they have touched an offensive rebound, whether it was a tip out or they actually came down with it.
Full court pressure deployed by FAU. They have forced 3 consecutive turnovers from the Fighting Knights.
Here's some of that matchup amoeba-like zone defense where you'll see man-to-man and constant pointing and talking for FAU.
Palmer rises for 3, short. Worrell keeps it alive, back to Baez. Randy Bell to the rim, the floater, and the weak side rebound to Edgar. We remain scoreless through the first 3 minutes. Ingram from the foul line, tips it in, does Ronald Delph.
Delph has been active. You know, when he's playing aggressive and he's staying out of foul trouble, he's one of the better centers in Conference USA. Great wingspan, always aggressive around the rim. If he keeps it simple, he's going to be a really good player this year already.
Delph, the transfer out of Auburn, he had 10 rebounds in that enormous upset victory at Ohio State last season for FAU. Worrell rises, shoots it up shy, and the rebound seized by Pfister.
But that's the correct move. You pump fake, and Delph will go flying. He wants to block shots.
Get it into Delph, and O'Brien comes down and fouls him.
Florida Atlantic makes some really good half-court action. They do a lot of screen the screener in half-court. They're trying to always make the defense think. And you'll see a post player screen for a guard. You'll see some stagger screens along the baseline, and then constantly trying to go inside to Delph. It's a really, really good offensive scheme that Coach Curry has put into place.
Delph showing the soft touch, the 7-footer from 15 feet.
Wow, I got to be honest, Art, I didn't think he had it like that.
There's Bell. Jump stop, leans in and scores,
Yeah.
but they will nullify that with steps.
Yeah, the fans don't like it, but that's the correct call.
As we hit the under 16-minute media timeout, FAU up 4-0 in the South Florida Showdown from Lynn. Welcome back to beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. And that is just down the street from lovely Lynn University.
I wish I could afford to live in Boca Raton, man.
Well, maybe
One
you
day.
could pull up a rowboat.
One day they're paying you the big bucks here. That's why you live down here. I get it.
Well, LYNN is off to a bit of a jittery, tight start here through the first 4 minutes of play. They've been held scoreless 4-0 Owls. This beautiful, quaint University of Boca. What a crowd here at the South Florida Showdown. They have packed this house. Turnover by FAU, their first of the game. LYNN has committed 4 miscues.
Well, Worrell did a really good job in the post of establishing position and then giving a little bit of an Academy Award winning bounce back the referee awarded him.
Here's the full court pressure. There's Bell, Randy Bell, the sophomore out of Sicklerville, New Jersey. 10th in the nation in scoring last season as a freshman in D2. Palmer rises for 3, bam!
That's big. He needs to get off to a good start. He's not a go-to three-point shooter. He's not always going to look for that. He's more of a slashing wing, but when he's hitting threes, LYNN's offense is very, very good.
Yeah, because he's a terrific transition player. But Palmer has improved the jumper in the offseason. Pfister will try to answer. That's well shy. Palmer grabs the loose ball.
It's actually, even though it looks wide open, that's good defense by LYNN. You want Pfister taking those shots.
Bell's shot hits the heel of the rim. 4-3 Owls. Troutman hounded by Bell. Adger open after Bell fell down, and he rattles in that bucket. 6-3 Owls. Bell in transition goes in, and that was bothered by Delph.
That's the one thing. It's a really good job by LYNN of pushing in transition, but you can't look to avoid contact all the time. Sometimes you got to go straight to the chin.
Delph on a mismatch with Baez and easily shoots it right over the LYNN point guard.
That's a really good move. I mean, he's going to have that kind of size advantage as a 7-footer. If you can turn and shoot that 12-footer consistently, watch out.
It's 8-3 Owls. Baez calls out the play. Baez straight on 3. Yes!
That's the cleanest look that LYNN has gotten this entire first half. And Baez is a catch-and-shoot shooter. He doesn't want to shoot off the dribble, but take a look how wide open Baez is. Steps up, straight down, knocks it home.
And you can hear the crowd here at LYNN University as they have cut the Owl lead to 2, 8-6. Now, LYNN is ranked by U.S. News and World Report as the top international university in the region. And over 20% of its students are international.
This is a really cool campus. I've been impressed with the facilities. I love the branding of all the nice theme. We have spirit, service, and strength. I think it's really cool. They did a great job. Both university marketing and athletics marketing came together and say, okay, we have to brand this because we have 23 national championships. Let's brand our university as a championship university. And I think they have done an outstanding job. I've been blown away so far.
A terrific job by Devin Crosby, President Ross. Devin Crosby stresses that every decision that he makes as an athletic director is based on the spirit, strength, service standard. He wants to connect, serve, and inspire, and he does a tremendous job at achieving that.
I love talking to him before the game. He is a really cool athletic director. LYNN should be excited to have him here. His vision is really profound. I mean, the way that he's trying to bring Division I teams to come play at LYNN. I mean, that's a cool thing. That transcends college athletics. It's not a normal thing.
Yeah, very unconventional. 10-6 FAU with that pretty bucket by Maloney, Trey Maloney, sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale. And nearly another turnover, and there it is. And that's a loose ball foul.
Yep.
That is a tough foul going on Baez as he collided with Peyton Holsey.
So it's old school, but the reason why that turnover happened, it's a clear foul. Gave him the old little forearm shiver there. You know, that's a good defensive safety move, but not in basketball, right? And the reason why that turnover happened is you don't want to dribble out of a loose ball. You got to pick it up, 2 feet, pivot foot, and then pass it.
And substitute for Coach Price, Kevin O'Brien will depart with Darius James checking in. And speaking of a football check, Darius James with the interception. He committed to play football with the FAU Owls. He was redshirted his freshman season as a tight end. Now you can see the size, 6'7", 220. A very agile player out of Winter Haven.
Might be the best overall defender for LYNN University.
A chase into the front court, won by Halsey. FAU by 4. Spinning and the floater no good, and that is out of bounds to LYNN.
You know, it goes to LYNN, and I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but there are just too many offensive rebound tips happening. LYNN has to find a man, turn, and box out. They can't jump with FAU.
Jamal Palmer breaks the pressure. Randy Bell. Coach Price calls him our best defender and an unbelievable kid. And another turnover committed by LYNN. And there's Coach Curry, happy with his team's play as they are up 10-6 here at the South Florida Showdown on the beautiful campus of LYNN University. This DeHornley Center is packed and cheering for their Fighting Knights and Jamal Palmer.
A beautiful look at the beaches here, and welcome back to the South Florida Showdown, where FAU has a 10-6 lead over LYNN University. And we have, you know, a very interesting mix of transfers coming into the Fighting Knights program this season. But one of the most interesting recruits that Coach Price reloaded with has to be Trayvon Henry. He actually played for Northwestern University's football team as a starting safety from 2012 to 2015. He was also a captain for 2 years. I spoke with Coach Price about how his skills have transferred from the field to the court, and he told me it's been unbelievable to watch his progress. He said he's a very talented guard, but has also brought exceptional leadership to this team. He told me to expect big things from him this season. Guys.
Thank you, Olivia. And there he is, Coach Price's best defender, causing a turnover right as he arrives off of the bench.
I don't think I've ever heard a story like that. Ari, I mean, 2-year captain at Northwestern. I think he's got the Outback Bowl record for tackles. Tried out for the Bucks, didn't make it. Helped volunteer at a local high school down South Florida. And he's like, you know what? I got a year of eligibility left. Why don't I just try and play basketball? Are you kidding me? It's awesome.
And there's another former football player, Darius James, banking it in against his former school. 10-8 Owls. Ryan Peterson is in the game, 6'6" junior transfer out of Pace for Coach Price. He joins Michael Baez. That could have been a clear out. That jumper hits the back of the iron and is cleared by Peterson. Here's Baez, he can shoot it. Peterson the rebound, his putback short. James crashing and over the top foul on Darius.
It's a very good offensive possession for LYNN. Got the rebound, pushed it in transition, had an open 3 look, crashed the offensive glass.
And there's the 15-footer by Darius James. Michael Baez is a 6'6" junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He is number 0. All-South Atlantic first team. Played 2 seasons at Wingate and led the Bulldogs in scoring at over 15 points per game. At 44 triples. And there's Trayvon Henry. That's your guy, Mike.
I mean, you could just tell this guy played football. And actually, I was talking with Coach Price afterwards. Got great anticipation. And Coach Price watched him work out one day, and he goes, "Man, we might have a little time in the rough here." And picks him up, on the roster and has just been, he said, a great kid, a great teammate, and probably the best leader maybe I've ever had at LYNN University.
And what a luxury to be able to bring that experience and leadership off of the bench. He was the Miami Herald Athlete of the Year 2011 and 2012 in South Florida. Delph's soft shot rattles out, but another offensive rebound. And this one is put in by Pfister.
I mean, FAU's doing exactly what they need to do. Crash the offensive glass on every single shot attempt, and it's working.
And a reach-in foul called Jaquan Perry. Get a look at Coach Curry. Here's the big man.
Three guys around the basketball on that offensive rebound and just staring. You can't watch the flight of the ball. You can't watch it hit the rim. As soon as the ball goes up, you got to turn, box out, and then go after the ball.
Henry passes on the open jumper, takes it to the rim, hangs and draws the foul as he protected his body with those broad shoulders, Mike, with a 7-footer looming.
Well, for me, this is the LYNN's blueprint for success. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Pump fake. Florida Atlantic always wants to block shots, even the guards. The guard went flying. You drive by, you know you have Delph underneath the basket. So what do? Do you shy away from it, or do you go right into the chest? Delph has tendencies to be in foul trouble. He fouled out of 6 games last year for Florida Atlantic. It's too many times. You should be taking advantage of that if you're LYNN.
And no rust on Travion Henry, despite playing 4 years of football for the Northwestern Wildcats. He was first-team All-State football in 2010 and 2011. Alley-oop dunk by Delph.
Yeah, they worked on that in shoot-around this morning. Every time a guard drives, you always want to look for that quick little alley-oop play. That's nice.
Peterson, an excellent perimeter shooter. And Henry also All-State in basketball in 2011 and 2012. O'Brien, good shooter. Peterson scrapping. Back to Baez. So Peterson with his second offensive rebound. O'Brien battles. Tried to dish it to Wachukwu, and that didn't work.
That's a classic case of being too unselfish.
Wide open transition 3 air ball. Here comes Henry, exploding down the center of the floor.
Good pass.
Wachukwu is fouled by Delph, and that's exactly what you called for, Mike. Take it to the big 7-footer.
Yeah, a textbook pass by Henry. Stopped in transition 2 feet, didn't commit a charge, whereas a lot of players going that fast, dribbling up the court. And take a look at this alley-oop here. That'll be there a lot for FAU this year, a lot, especially when you get guard penetration. But Henry did exactly what he was supposed to do for LYNN. Push the ball in transition, stop at 2 feet, avoid the charge, and a good little dump bounce pass. Going up for 2 free throws.
So Kenny Wachukwu, the 6'9" sophomore out of Nigeria, who Coach Price says will be special in this program, probably by his junior season. Connects on the first free throw. Believe it or not, Mike, this guy put on quite a bit of weight in the offseason.
Right.
You should have seen him when he was a freshman.
No, I believe it. He's got a 7'2" wingspan though, and he is going to be good. He's got raw offensive skills right now, but he's got all the athleticism and the other tools to be a very good player for LYNN in the years to come.
FAU breaking the pressure with Pfister. Bailed out to Troutman. FAU will organize their offense up 2. Troutman in the lane, and that is deflected by LYNN.
Troutman's been quiet for FAU. He is their go-to scorer. And he needs to look for his shot a little bit more.
Inbounding will be Jaquan Perry. Here's Adger. Region 10 Player of the Year last year in Division II. 3-pointer is true by Anthony Adger.
That's his game, and that's exactly what FAU wants to do. Knock a three and then hop into the press. That's exhausting. That's exhausting for the opposing team when FAU starts making threes and then they hop into a zone press. It just takes the wind out of your sails.
Peterson took steps. You're not going to get away with that, particularly right in front of the FAU bench.
Yeah, but also referees love to make that call. They love.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Oh
Mike.
my gosh! I feel like 50% of them are wrong, but that's why I'm only an 8th grade certified referee. You know, I don't have the chops to.
You're talking about that little head and shoulders fake, right? It seems like steps is called.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it happens as often as it's actually called, in my opinion. I think the referees anticipate that call too much. A lot of times, you know, the big thing with NCAA basketball and the NBA in general is, right, you want to speed up the pace of the game. It needs to be free-flowing. You need to have this constant motion and this consistent pace. And I feel like half of the time it's not the correct call.
A good fight by Michael Baez, the junior out of Charlotte, and LYNN right there, trailing FAU, their crosstown rival, Division I. FAU Owls 17-12. The South Florida Showdown from lovely LYNN University. A special guest is with Olivia Stacy. Olivia.
That's right, a very special guest. Actually, the man behind the South Florida Showdown, LYNN University's athletics director, Devin Crosby, joins me now. And Devin, you had this whole concept to invite 6 Division I opponents and invite them to a 9-game series. Tell me, what was your inspiration behind doing that? Because that's very unconventional.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was really about our culture. At LYNN University, we have a culture of innovation. We love to push the boundaries of excellence, and we really punch above our weight at LYNN University. So it's a really good opportunity to put us on a national stage of the entire institution. We just happen to use sports behind it. So we're having a lot of fun.
And how did you convince these Division I programs to travel to LYNN University?
Well, I really want to thank Pat Chun, the AD at FAU, and Ree Lee, the AD at Georgetown University, and Pat Lyons at Seton Hall. They could understand the concept. We really want to celebrate college athletics. Football and men's basketball, they get a lot of attention. This is a big game today, but we also have soccer, and we have tennis, and men's golf. So we've been able to expose a lot of other sports nationally that don't normally get the attention.
And the resources are different in a Division II school as compared to Division I. So do you expect to win these games?
You know what, we fully expect to win them, Lynn. All 9 games we fully expect to win. A lot of our athletes, they actually turn down Division I opportunities to come to LYNN. And I think it says a lot about our culture. It says a lot about our president, Kevin Ross, where we've created this culture of care, where we really honor people, and it's part of our spirit, service, and strength. We honor people, we have empathy for people, but we do things uncompromised excellence.
And I want to talk a little bit about the snazzy new uniforms that we're seeing debut tonight. I know you were a big part of that, and it's also a part of a larger $1 million deal with Adidas. Can you talk about how you secured that partnership?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, the Adidas deal is very natural. It's very organic. They could see our innovation and how we operate as an institution, and it's a natural fit with Adidas. They're pushing those boundaries too. And the uniforms really reflect the 3 things of spirit, service, and strength. Spirit is about our honor, and blue represents our confidence. White represents our humility, and gray is our maturity. So really, our colors, Olivia, are much more than just a brand. It's really who we are as people.
I know there's a special deal going on for anyone in attendance. Do you want to tell people about that?
Absolutely. So if we win this game going on right now, Olivia, everybody in the arena gets 50% off on Adidas shoes. Everybody in the arena. Even the FAU fans win when LYNN wins.
I know I'm going to Adidas after this. Now, I have a question for you. You know, back to the Adidas deal, what does that say about the strength of your athletics program overall?
Absolutely. You know, at LYNN University, we look at ourselves as no different than any other division. We feel Division I, Division II, Division III, we classify ourselves as just LYNN University, the most innovative institution in the world. That's how we feel. And that Adidas tie fits so well with us. We're also an Apple Distinguished institution. We don't even have books on this campus. Every student receives an iPad as a freshman year. So again, that's President Ross pushing the boundaries of excellence at all times.
Well, thanks so much for the time, Devin. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Enjoy the game.
Thank you, Olivia. And Devin Crosby, what an innovative and inspirational athletic director here at LYNN University.
Yeah, he's one of the coolest ADs I've ever talked to. By the way, I mean, If I knew that I was getting an iPad as a freshman, I'd be coming to Lynn too. Are you kidding me? Holy cow.
So you're saying that Coach Price recruited you to the wrong institution back in the day?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Coach Price was at Georgia Southern when he recruited my broadcast partner, Mike O'Donnell. And our score here is 17-12. There's a good look at Coach Jeff Price and what a class act he is as well. His second go-around here in beautiful Boca.
Actually, basketball runs pretty deep in the Price family. His daughter is quite a little baller. She actually is so good. She plays with the boys team up in age group in some travel ball over the summer. She's really good.
Yeah, all the fans here and students at LYNN University know about her skills because they can't win one of those contests during a timeout, because she always does.
I love it.
Edgar buries 2 free throws. FAU, their first foul shots of the game. Lynn is 4 for 4 from the foul line. Lynn just 3 of 13 from the field, Mike. They trail by just 7 though.
So much of that is because of FAU's defense. I mean, it's not an easy thing to score against. That zone matchup, amoeba-like defense in the half court can be stifling.
Worrell to the rim, puts it up, just wouldn't fall. And that picked up by Troutman.
It's the right move, you just have to finish it.
Ingram, transition, pull up too strong. Palmer elevates for the rebound. Here comes Alan Baez. Baez probing the defense, nothing there, and will spin out. Here's Jamal Palmer. He can be a runaway train in transition. Baez to Worrell, and he lays it in.
It's a great pass, and that's Baez's game. Trying to find those seams, get into the teeth of the defense in the half court, and make plays for others.
19-14 Owls. 16-footer straight on shy. Yet another offensive rebound, and this time it's a guard, Mike, and Peyton Holsey.
Yeah, so Ari, it takes 5, right? You can't just rely on your front court. You can't just rely on your post players to box out and get the rebounds. I mean, this is it needs to be a cohesive unit. When you face a physically bigger and imposing team like FAU, you can't take any shot for granted. You can't take any possession for granted. You got to turn and box out.
And the crowd possibly bothering Holsey. He was a CAA All-Defensive Performer. A transfer out of College of Charleston, led team in steals and assists as a junior. That's a good get for Michael Curry.
Holsey can play. He can play. He was obviously, like you said, grad transfer from College of Charleston. 2-time All-CAA defensive player. Actually, he led College of Charleston in assists, by the way. So more than just a scorer, more than just a defender. Great playmaker.
So a lane violation allows 3 free throws. He misses them all, but the Owls retrieve the rebound.
Coach Price is furious with his team. They're not boxing out the free throw line.
Here's Holsey, hounded by Palmer. Holsey scootering down the lane, and a reach-in foul to Coach Price's displeasure is called on Palmer.
What do we call those fouls, Ari? Ticky-tack? Don't we usually refer to those? Little hip check bumps?
And Jamal Palmer, his parents, Greg and Linda, are super Lynn Fighting Night fans. They are here every game. And FAU struggling from the free throw line.
Which is actually surprising. They shot over 70% as a team from the free throw line last year.
Very aggressive in this zone defense, as you talked about, Mike. Here's Bell.
It's a little bit of a matchup 1-3-1 type zone.
O'Brien with a hand in his face, and Lynn, a three-point shooting team, is frustrated. They are not getting any clean looks. Holsey backs it up, guarded by Darius James.
I'd go
boisterous
right
crowd
back
here.
inside. Yeah, I'd go right back inside if I was FAU. There you go.
Smith in and out. Rebounded by Baez.
It's the right recipe. Just have to finish.
Lynn looking to run, but they have no numbers.
FAU does a great, tough move. Tough move.
And just couldn't get it to fall was Randy Bell.
It's probably the 5th layup that LYNN has missed here in the first half. They've all been contested, but those are shots you have to finish, or you have to get to the free throw line. You can't go up in there and avoid contact.
Well, they play in a terrific conference, the Sunshine State Conference. Nice move there by Jalen Ingram. But they don't typically see this kind of size, Mike.
No, but again, you can't. Coach Price would tell you, well, we can't make that as an excuse, right? We still, size doesn't determine how hard you can play when you box out and play defense. I mean, it determines the athleticism. But here you go, another alley-oop. It's a charge. It's one way to negate a push and transition.
So Alan Baez draws the charge. Baez to Worrell. Big bucket there for LYNN here at the South Florida Showdown from the DeHornley Center. And you're looking at the lovely LYNN University. And we'll send it now to Olivia.
Well, you can take a look at the recent history of the Fighting Knights in the postseason, and you can see they've had a lot of success. And Coach Price told me before this game, even though it's the start of the season, and actually this game is just an exhibition game, he's already setting high expectations. Looking back at their history, though, they've made 8 postseason tournament appearances, and then, of course, they've made the Division II Sweet 16 in the 2014-15 season. And who could forget the year of 2004 when they made the Sunshine State Conference regular season and tournament champions. Definitely setting the bar high for this season as well.
There's Randy Bell bringing it into the forecourt. The crowd very boisterous. Baez to the rim and lays it in. Alan Baez with his second bucket.
One of the things that Coach Price does the best is he calls great plays out of a timeout or out of a dead ball. And that was a really, really good set design play in the half court to allow Baez a clean baseline drive.
Troutman answers with the left hand.
He's been quiet, Ari. We haven't called his name a lot, but he's the go-to scorer for FAU.
Yeah, Troutman with his first bucket. Mike, you're absolutely right. He averaged just under 10 points a game. And that shot floated up by Michael Baez, and here comes FAU in transition. Look at those hops, but the putback wouldn't drop for Amir Smith. Good save there.
Nice extra pass.
Peterson for 3, and that just hit the heel of the rim.
Those are the ones you have to make. Travel. Yep.
So LYNN just 2 of 9 from beyond the arc, Mike.
Well, you know what? You're going to miss shots, and that happens. But for me, you can't have any unforced turnovers. And right now, LYNN has 8 turnovers. That's too many in the first half.
It's 23-16. The crowd hoping the Fighting Knights can pull up off the upset against the Division I crosstown rivals and then get 50% off Adidas shoes. But there's another turnover, as you just mentioned.
Unforced, you don't need a cross-court skip pass like that.
Rejected by James on Troutman. Superb defense by Darius. And at last touch, Troutman.
So take a look at this block. 2 hands, straight up, straight down. Textbook.
You see the turnovers. 9 for the Fighting Knights. And almost the 10, but they call it a block on Edgar. So Alan Baez looking to create for LYNN's offense.
It's actually the 3rd baseline drive in a row for Baez. And Coach Price is running some offensive sets in the half court to lift Florida Atlantic's post players, trying to get them above or close to the free throw line, which is allowing Baez that clear lane along the baseline.
They're going to wipe up a slick spot there. Alan Baez, who redshirted at UNC Greensboro before transferring to Lynn, was 9th in the Sunshine State Conference in assists at 3.7 per game.
You know, I've noticed, Ari, nobody likes to get down on one knee anymore to wipe the sweat off. You know, it's always foot on towel and then wipe it off. What happened with that?
I think it's bad knees. You know, the officials, they may not get up from their stance.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
23-18 and a turnover. Baez, a wild shot. That's Michael Baez, the transfer out of Wingate.
That's a really good job by Pfister of not breaking that vertical plane and staying straight up. One of the first forced turnovers for Lynn.
And another offensive putback, this time by Amir Smith, the junior out of Houston.
So that's the recipe for FAU. Get to the rim, get a shot up, and then crash the glass. Speaking of crashing the glass, how about the big fella, Darius James? Send it in, James.
DJ with the tip slam. And the crowd is up. And the answer from Smith.
I tell you, FAU does such a great job. Their guards do a great job of getting into the lane and then looking to make a play. Not looking to score, looking to make a play, and that play is usually a little bounce pass or a little lob. Man, they do that really well.
And there's a blocking foul on FAU. So Alan Baez will return to the free throw line. A 1-1 upcoming for Allen. You see the differential in free throws. See if Lynn can remain perfect. And they do.
Baez is that steady force at point guard for Lynn. Coach Price really likes him as a leader, that quiet leader. Gets about 5 points, but he has a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, getting about 4 assists, 2 turnovers a game.
And 1.7 remain in the quarter. Now that ball will drop to the floor and end the first half with Florida Atlantic on top 27-22 over Lynn University, who's been in blue since 1962 when this university opened. This crosstown rivalry here in the South Florida Showdown as FAU heads to the locker room up by 5, and Olivia has head coach Michael Curry.
Well, Coach, you're ahead in this one right now, and your team set the energy and the pace early on. What are you liking about their performance tonight?
No, defensively, we're doing really well. Done well in the man-to-man, done well in the matchup, in the press. I think we can be a little bit more aggressive. Missed a lot of easy shots. Missed about 5 or 6 layups, maybe 5 or 6 free throws. So offensively, we get a little sharper. Continue the defensive play. 22 points in their building is really good.
What's your message heading into the locker room?
Just continue defensively, a couple of mistakes, relax on the offensive end, and convert plays.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Ari?
Thank you, Olivia and Coach Curry. As Jamal Palmer with a three-pointer, and Baez, the Lynn Fighting Knights battling crosstown Division I rival FAU, down by 5 at half from the DeHornley Center. And welcome back to beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. The South Florida Showdown here at lovely Lynn University. Ari Shannock back with Lynn University President Kevin Ross. Kevin, Lynn University continues to amaze people across the country. The presidential debate, the iPad initiative, 23 national championships. How does Lynn continue to remain innovative?
Well, I think it's really all about
creating value for students and for our community. So we always try to look around the corner. We're not the kind of place that rests on our laurels by any means. We're only 55 years of age as an institution, so we're about the future. And I think that you'll see what's coming in the future is pretty exciting for LYNN.
Well, the most recent innovation, the South Florida Showdown, which we're hosting here today, how did that come about?
So we've been a great sports program for a long time, and we've known that. But we know that Division II gets a lot of, Division II doesn't get as much love as Division I. We don't end up on television as much, for one thing. So we wanted to invite some other teams down for some friendly competition, and we've been actually beating Division I teams for a long time. Many of our student athletes are accepted Division I institutions and choose to come here.
And this has been a challenging, always facing Division I. I heard there's a few friendly wagers going on with other presidents of the other institutions. Can you expand on that at all?
So because social media is so pervasive these days, we decided that the losing team, athletic director and president, would don the other's jersey and plaster it all over social media.
All right, well, let's hope that LYNN University colors will be worn throughout South Florida. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Ross,
pleasure having you all here.
doing a fantastic job. What an innovative place this is, and you deserve so much credit, you and Devin Crosby.
Well, thank you. It's a team effort. We really appreciate it.
And what a great place to come to school here at LYNN University. The Boynton Beach High School Band entertaining here at the half. Hey, welcome back to LYNN University. The South Florida Showdown, there's your score at the half. Mike, I would say that this South Florida Showdown, the tailgate party before the contest, is a huge hit.
No, this is a really fun atmosphere. It's packed, it's loud, there's great energy, and we got a good basketball game right now. This is fun.
Oh, you said they wanted to make it like Cameron Indoor Stadium,
yeah.
And I can't hear a thing during this game. So
I can't even hear you right now. I'm reading your lips right now, Ari. I mean, it's loud, but that's what you want. It's been a great atmosphere. You see a couple first half jitters, but so far, FAU taking advantage of the glass, led by Delph.
Yeah, there's the big man inside and out. Jamal Palmer.
See, the big thing, the recipe for success for FAU has been them going inside. And when they went away from that, that's when LYNN made their run. Led by Baez, who knocked down a three. He did a great job of dishing to his teammates in transition. Coach Price ran some good half-court sets to get more action towards the rim, knocked down a couple free throws. But FAU, for them, they need to play faster. They need to play more up-tempo. You heard Coach Curry. He said he thinks he'd like to press more and speed up the game. That leads to more dunks on the offensive end. That leads to more offensive rebounds because FAU has 9 offensive rebounds in the first half. If you're LYNN University, you have to clean that up.
And there's that tip dunk by Darius James. This was a highlight for the packed house here at the DeHornley Center as you take a look at the first half stats. There's that rebounding advantage, Mike, but a lot of that damage on the offensive glass.
One surprising stat, too. You look, FAU is only 1 for 6 from the three-point line. Keep in mind, this is a very good three-point shooting team. LYNN has done a good job of closing out on shooters and preventing players like Troutman from knocking down three-point shots.
And just 2 for 6 from the free throw line. LYNN, the big advantage there, perfect in the first half. 8 for 8. This is all part of the beauty here at LYNN University.
Welcome back to the South Florida Showdown. A beautiful look at the boats here in Boca Raton, and I am now joined with the head coach for the Fighting Knights. And Coach Price, tell me, just what your thoughts were to your team heading into the half. What was your message to them? Right now, you trail by 5.
Well, we're not nearly aggressive enough on the offensive end of the floor. We're a much better offensive team than we're playing. I think we're tight a little bit. I think their length is bothering us some. But on the defensive end, we weren't bad. But it's hard to beat anybody shooting 23%. We got to be more aggressive offensively in everything we do.
And aggression and your defense has been a focal point heading into this season. What are you specifically looking to see on defense in tonight's game?
Well, in a game like this where we're having trouble scoring, more than anything, we have to score out of our defense. So we should be out denying, getting some steals, trying to score some points out of our defense. And we talked about that a lot at halftime. We're going to struggle shooting the ball. We got to find other ways to create points, and that's one of them.
Thanks, for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck. Ari.
Thank you, Olivia and Coach Price. LYNN looking for some more aggression in the second half. Well, the quaint, lovely University of LYNN University right near the beach. Now let's take a look at the Florida Atlantic all-season preview, Mike.
Yeah, if you take a look at between Delph, Ingram, and Troutman, those are 3 great players to return back to your team. At least 9 newcomers, Byron Adams, Tyler Bird. Big one for me, the 2 players, Peyton Holsey and Jaquan Perry. They are going to be great additions to this FAU team. This is a team that Coach Curry feels if they stay true to their defensive philosophy and if Delph stays out of foul trouble, they can be one of the top 4 teams in Conference USA.
Well, we saw the agility and skill of Delph, the 7-footer. 8 points in 8 minutes for the big man until he picked up that second foul. Strong rebound by Kevin O'Brien.
But that's the key, Ari. You just said it. 8 points in 8 minutes, very productive, had a couple blocks and rebounds, but you have to stay in for longer than that. You can't get in foul trouble.
Whirl, hesitation, and rejected by Delph.
It's a great block. He is doing a much better job of staying on that line of verticality, jumping straight up and straight down for the block shot.
And Alan Baez and Kevin O'Brien both so adept at drawing charges. Mike,
you have to. When you're facing a bigger opponent, you have to be ready to step up and take a charge. That's the dirty work that nobody likes to do. It's so important for your team.
There's Jamal going into the lane, puts it up off the glass, follows his miss, and puts it in.
One of the rare offensive rebounds for LYNN. Palmer has the physicality and the athleticism to do that.
And Palmer now with 5 points, 9 points for Alan Baez leads the way. Coach Price, during his interview with Olivia, said he wants much more aggressiveness on the offensive end. Right now they're being aggressive on the defensive end. Just 3 seconds on the shot clock. Delph gets it off. Battle for the rebound won by Bell.
Coach Price was screaming for a 5-second call, but there is no 5-second anymore.
And Randy couldn't finish that one after creating space for himself. Adger will crossover dribble, forces up a bad shot, and that is out of bounds to LYNN. And let's take a look at the season preview for the LYNN Fighting Knights, Mike.
We talked a lot about Alan Baez, Jamal Palmer. You mentioned Kevin Bryant earlier, but Rasheed Worrell, I think, is going to end up being a great addition for LYNN, a transfer from Bowling Green. 6'8", can play multiple positions, really aggressive, active on the glass. I like his game a lot.
And Jamal Palmer missing in transition on the break. Laying it in is Ingram.
Yeah, nifty layup. Hey, Ingram has that skills. He was a 3A state player of the year in high school. Actually won 2 state titles in high school.
FAU by 5. Baez around the screen, back to Palmer. Jamal all the way to the hoop and was bothered there, Mike, by the 7-footer. Ingram lays it in again on the fast break.
Boy, Ingram looked like he was taken off to dunk that and actually hobbling a little bit coming down the lane. I think he may have either ankle or knee jumped off on the wrong spot. Ouch.
That's still the balance to be able to score the hoop.
Absolutely.
There's Alan Baez. O'Brien, a good shooter, straight on. He drains it.
That's his favorite spot, top of the key. Sets his feet, catch and shoot. You just saw he does not need a lot of time to get a shot off.
First bucket for O'Brien. The FAU lead a precarious 4.
I mean, if you're LYNN, you've got to feel good about the position you're in right now. You're not shooting the ball particularly well, and you're only down 4. That's
I
a
like
tough
this kid,
move.
Mike.
Yeah, that's just a tough move. Being 7 foot, spin, pivot, turn, and almost a little baby hook jumper, there's not many players in the country that not only have that skill set, but can guard that type of move.
Yeah, he shot 57% from the field last season. Worrell gets the
pump
big
fake.
man in the air and draws the 3rd foul.
I would do that every single time. Whoever Delph is guarding, as you take a look at this catch and shoot from O'Brien, good looking stroke. If I'm Worrell, I'm calling for the ball at the free throw line, at the block, and saying, get out of the way. Let me ISO and see if I can get Delph in foul trouble. But that's 3. He's coming out right now.
Yeah, a huge factor.
We talked about in the open, Ari. I mean, he's the anchor. You know, when Delph is in the game, FAU is a different team, offensively and defensively. Defensively, they can press more. They can sit in that amoeba-like matchup zone. He can stand right in the middle of the paint, clog up all that space.
Worrell, who averaged 7 points a game as a freshman at Bowling Green, misses both free throws.
Coach Bryce said Worrell transferred because he wanted to go someplace where he could be the guy. And you feel like he has that ability, that opportunity here at LYNN.
Yeah, no question. He will be their man in the post. Good defense by Worrell there, and able to seize the rebound as well. Here's Michael Baez.
I'd like to see a little bit more from Baez. I think he's got a really, really good skill set. Another good driving kick. Wow, nice from Baez.
O'Brien for 3, yes.
Yeah, Baez is crafty, man. He's not going to wow you with speed or athleticism, but he knows how to play ankles, and he plays with a really good pace. That's one of the few times today where LYNN has got, and look at Baez getting the offensive charge.
Yeah, illegal pick by Pfister sent Baez to the deck. Kevin O'Brien, who last February was 7 of 9 from beyond the arc against a highly ranked Berry team. This kid can catch fire. 2 trays in a row for O'Brien. FAU by 3 against Coach Price's troops. The fans hoping for 50% off of Adidas shoes with a LYNN victory.
TV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like banging their head on a low ceiling, drinking spoiled milk, camping in poison ivy, getting a paper cut, and having their arm trapped in a vending machine. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
And that's a beautiful shot of the ocean and the beach here in Boca Raton. Welcome back to the South Florida Showdown, where FAU has a 33-30 lead over LYNN University. And while we've been talking about the athletics, and they certainly have strong athletics program here at LYNN University, they're just not known for their athletics. They also are known internationally for their academics as well. They have 3,000 students from 100 countries. They're ranked as a top international university in region by U.S. News and World Report. They have 6 different colleges offering 38 majors of study and more than 50 study abroad programs in 20 different countries, and that's something that athletics director Devin Crosby, they told me they're very proud of. They want to be a global school, and they want their students to have international experience.
Thank you very much, Olivia. LYNN on a run here, Mike. 2 trays by Kevin O'Brien has ignited this crowd.
Yeah, 8-6 run to open the half for LYNN. Delph with 3 fouls. He's on the bench.
Baez floats it up and in with some English off of the glass.
Yeah, he's been the guy. He's been the guy. He's getting into the paint at will, using the ball screen effectively.
And LYNN within 1 now. This is just a remarkable university. 20% of LYNN students are international. 24/7 dining services for students. That would have sealed the deal for you, Mike. I know that.
You know, I'm a 6 meal a day guy, Ari.
LYNN founded in 1962, wearing blue since 1962. Backdoor cut and the slam for Smith.
He's a beast, man. He's gonna be really good. 6'6" junior forward. He was actually the #2 shot blocker in the nation last year at State Fair Community College. Check out this. Woo! Effortless.
Yeah, he's got hops. Lynn University.
You wish you could do that, man, just like once in your life. You know, I
Other
dream
than
about
on
that.
the Nerf hoop? Yes.
Exactly.
Well, you were a three-point specialist. I didn't even have that. There's Massey around the screen, rises for three and buries it. FAU with 5 straight after Lynn had closed the gap to 1. Baez struggling against the press.
That kills you. That kills you. If you know, Coach Curry is frustrated because as a great trap opportunity, as you take a look, there's no need to reach right here. You don't need to reach. You have him. You have him. Cardinal sin. You don't let him out of the trap, number 1, but number 2, you don't need to swipe down at the ball. You'll never get that call. You reach, I teach, right, Ari?
Alec Baez drawing the foul, very adept at drawing contact.
He's been great. 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Totally ignited not just this team, but this crowd here in the second half.
There's Coach Price, his team trailing by 6.
But you see, you see small spurts from Lynn, right? But you need to string up 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive possessions where they're efficient on the offensive end. They can't knock a 3, hit a couple free throws, and then turn the ball over. It can't go back and forth like that because FAU is too sound on both ends of the floor.
So Baez continues his terrific game. He has 11 points, perfect from the free throw line, 6 of 6. And Lynn's going to show FAU some pressure of their own. FAU handled it well, Mike. They get into their offense with Adger. It's a mismatch here with Worrell on the point guard, and Adger brings it down the lane and draws the foul.
Florida Atlantic is a good free throw shooting team. They're at their best when they're going inside. Again, you know, Ari, we talked about it. When Delph is not in, it completely changes the offense and defense for FAU. I mean, this is the opportunity for Lynn to go on a run. But if you're Florida Atlantic, if Delph is out, you need to find different ways to get to the rim. And that was a good example of getting to the rim, you know, off a dribble penetration. But it can't just be every other time. They should look to drive every single possession.
And there is a 7-footer on the bench with 3 fouls. Delph with 10 points, 4 rebounds in 12 minutes. Talk about production. And for Lynn, Coach Price was a little bit leery of production from his point guard spot this year. And certainly between Travion Henry and Alan Baez, that has been solid play.
Yeah, I think he thought it was going to be point guard by committee, but if so far this game is any indication, I think Baez is your guy at point guard.
Now, Travion Henry sparked the team coming off of the bench with a couple of points, a rebound. He drew a charge. That may be a position that Coach Price may not have to be so concerned with. Worrell departs with Darius James coming back, with Lynn trailing by 4. This quaint university that hosted the final 2012 presidential debate between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney.
Wow, how about that? You're like Alex Trebek today, Ori. You are dropping some serious nuggets, man.
All memorized, of course.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
And a charge goes on Massey. So as you said, Mike, opportunity right here for the Fighting Knights with Delph sidelined with the 3 fouls. Lynn trailing by 4. Looks like Coach Curry will continue to try to speed this game up.
Hey, it's a smart call by Curry. Baez is out, put the press on, see if you can force a couple turnovers.
Jamal Palmer will take it up against Massey.
He's been quiet, a little too quiet, Ari.
Baez from the corner, strong. Baez struggling to find his range today.
Good kick, great kick.
Massey for 3. Weak side rebound, Smith elevating above everybody, but then gets called for a foul. A little bit late on that whistle, Mike. What'd you think?
Yeah, it's an interesting call. I'd like to take a look at that again. I'm assuming shoulder, lowering the shoulder directly into the chest is the reason. Curry's just been warned, actually. Curry's been warned by the referee, probably the next big outburst. So be careful, Mike, at a tech.
Ryan Peterson is checked in for Baez, for Michael Baez. I think Coach Price was a little upset at that box out by Baez on the previous possession.
Travel.
That is a walk on Henry.
Yep. Shuffled the feet. Good call by the referee. It's the right move by Henry, though. You know, I mean, you like that play. You like the aggressiveness. I like the way he attacks. I'd like to see him do that more.
Hulsey at the point, searching for help.
Nice dump down.
Yeah, beautiful little penetration and dish sets up that foul. That is the fourth team foul committed by LYNN. Now check that.
So here's two interesting times right now. You know, for FAU, Delph's on the bench. So what do you do from an offensive standpoint? And you can see they're trying to get to the rim more, and it's proven to be effective, but they just have to keep attacking the rim. For LYNN, Baez is on the bench. He's not in right now. So who is your point guard, but more importantly, who is your playmaker?
Jaquan Perry, second team All-Conference USA as a sophomore. It's 40-34. Travion Henry. Palmer, they try to bring Peterson off a double screen. And by the time they get him the ball, it's ricocheted out of bounds. A player is down.
Yeah, I didn't see anything illegal. He just took a shot. Looked like a knee right into the leg. Let's take a look at this. Turn and oh yeah, knocked the wind right out of him. Got hit in the chest. Nothing illegal about that.
Ran into Darius James, yeah, completely inadvertent. And good to see Peyton Hulsey up to his feet, able to walk to the bench. The crowd giving him a round of applause.
Let me tell you something. You got to be a beast to knock down Hulsey. I mean, it's not like, I mean, Hulsey's a tank.
6'5", 215.
I don't want to run into that screen.
40-34 FAU. They have managed this lead throughout, Mike. It's like LYNN cannot break through at that 5-point range, and yet on the flip side, FAU cannot extend their lead.
Yeah, and I really go back to, you know, what is your identity when your two best players are on the bench? You know, how do you sustain a run, or how do you ignite a run with FAU's best player, Delph, on the bench? And for LYNN, Baez has been the guy today, and when Baez is not in, you feel as if the offense is a little bit stagnant.
Palmer floats in and scores.
That's a great way to get out of it. That's a great way to get out of it. We haven't called his name in a while. Another deflection for Henry. He is everywhere. I understand why he broke the tackle record at the Outback Bowl for the Northwestern Wildcats.
Yeah, if you're a wide receiver, you do not want to be roaming across the middle.
No, sir. No, sir.
Look at Palmer's activity on defense on the pressure. Jaquan Perry brings it into the front court and gives to Adger. 12 minutes to play. FAU by 4 in a competitive battle here, the South Florida Showdown.
Oh, great pass. That might be pass of the night right there. Troutman, wonderful little dump down, no looker.
And Amir Smith, yet another dunk. He plays above the rim. Peterson for 3, that's short. And that has been a bit off target. Perry, a little step through, count it, and a foul.
Man, you call that a European step. That move, that 1-2 right and left where you fly by the defender, actually originated in Europe, and Perry proving it strong, man. That's smooth.
Yeah, pretty move by Perry, and he will be at the foul line to try to complete the 3-point play when we return. Jamal Palmer trying to lift the Fighting Knights here at the DeHornley Center.
And we welcome you back to sunny Boca Raton, Florida, where FAU has a 44-36 lead over LYNN University. And LYNN has several players who have gone on to coach and even had professional careers after graduating. And a few of those players we're going to talk about now. Tommy Canley is now in the Major League Baseball, and he is a former Fighting Knights baseball player. He's played 188 career games with the Colorado Rockies, Chicago White Sox, and New York Yankees. And then there's also Tim Malia, who is now a starting goaltender in the MLS. So take a close look at this court because you may see a few up-and-coming professional players.
Well, thanks, Olivia. And I think the soccer team right now may have a couple of more professionals with 2 first-team All-Americans in Jack Watson and Nicholas Taskey. You may see both of those guys in the MLS shortly. Baseball team Rudy Garbelosa continues to produce major league talent, minor league baseball talent. Those games are attended heavily by major league scouts. If you want to be scouted, come and play for Rudy. So, unable to complete the three-point play, the bucket was made before the timeout by Perry.
Largest lead of the game for FAU, 8 points here.
Palmer to the rim, hangs and scores. So strong, Mike.
Yeah, he's starting to get going. He's really starting to be more aggressive. That's what you need if you're LYNN. You have Baez back in the game, but when he was on the bench, Palmer had to be that guy. Take a look at this drive, nothing fancy, right to the chin of the defense. That's how you not avoid contact. I like it.
Should add another soccer player, Alan Webb, who led the conference in goals. You may see him in the professional ranks as well. 44-38, big bucket by Jamal. As his parents up in the stands, Greg and Linda, so proud. Deflected by James. And
got away with the travel.
Edgar trying to get it across. Tipped again, and this time it's stolen. Here comes Baez accelerating up.
Oh, you got to be step in ready to shoot that.
Peterson is fouled on his three-point attempt. So 3 free throws upcoming for Ryan Peterson.
You almost felt like Florida Atlantic was panicking on that. You know, there's 10 and a half minutes left in this game. No need to panic in the press, but a good job of LYNN of creating some offense through their defense. Oh man, that is a cardinal sin. You never foul a jump shooter, Ari.
Yeah, particularly one that has been struggling on the afternoon, Mike. Ryan was 0 for 3 beyond the arc, but he can shoot it. You get this kid in rhythm, and watch out.
He's a transfer from Pace. Actually led Pace in scoring, almost 15 points per game. Junior wing.
And Peterson knocked down 68 triples last season for Pace. So he hits 2 of 3. It is a 4-point advantage. Peterson the steal. Lays it up and in. And here comes the LYNN crowd.
Another deflection. That's how you turn momentum in your favor. Ignited by the press. It really all started with Palmer. This crowd is going bananas.
The fans are beginning to believe.
Well, Peterson read that perfectly. He was all the way by half court and sprinted up for the football interception.
The 7-footer back on the floor, Delph, with 3 fouls. Just over 10 minutes to play. Edgar hounded by Baez. Coach Curry saying, get into the offense. 10 seconds. And there's a hold, so a break for FAU.
Oh man, that just kills you if you're LYNN. You have the momentum, you have the great defensive presence of forcing Edgar to drive. Can't bail out a driver like that.
The 16th foul on LYNN, so the next one will result in a 1-and-1. There's a good look at Coach Curry. Here's Delph. against a 6'5" defender. Let's see if FAU can get him the ball.
They missed him the first time. I don't understand why they didn't look inside.
Now Worrell back on him. And just 7 seconds on the shot clock. There's a long jumper in and out, tipped in by Smith.
That's their game. You got Delph in. Everybody looking to box out Delph, which means one guy's going to be open. Smith cleaning it up.
Amir Smith has been efficient. 10 points in 13 minutes.
Ooh, Baez almost got a couple ankles there.
But then it ends up being Lynn's 12th turnover. They've taken the care of the ball much better here in the second half, Mike.
There's no question. And with Baez in, they flow at a much better pace. I really think that's your point guard moving forward if you're Lynn University.
Lynn continues to pressure. Delph with the jump hook, and you can't lose that man.
No, but it's a great pass by Adger. It's good vision. Delph made himself available.
So the Fighting Knights had chipped away, cut the lead down to 2, but 2 big buckets by the Owls extended to 6. Baez, 8 to shoot. Bell from distance, yes!
Wow, that's not his game. He is not a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Shot clock winding down. He felt confident though.
Randy's first tray of the game. 92 three-pointers. Wow.
Are you kidding me? With the skip pass, the one-handed, just ferocious slam.
Well, you can see why this kid was recruited and went to Auburn. Bell for another 3, good.
He says, I see your dunk and I raise you a 3-point shot in transition. We got a little ball game here, Ari.
And this is what we had hoped for, the South Florida Showdown. Crosstown rivals. FAU by 2. Here's Delph with a guard on him. Turnaround, Jay rimming, no. And the rebound to James. Lynn can tie. Take the lead with a 3. Bell's hit 2 straight. Can it be 3? Bam!
How about a little bang bang shrimp for dinner, Ari? 3 in a row. The trifecta for Bell. Ring that bell all night long.
It is bedlam in here for Bell and the Fighting Knights. Here's Bell, 1 from distance. Lynn continues to battle back. Look at this slam from the 7-footer. But then Bell again. Lynn has the lead. Welcome back to the DeHornley Center. Let's send it down to Olivia.
All right, well, the fans are fired up. Let me tell you what, there's so much excitement right now in this auditorium, and it's not even the start of the regular season. When I spoke to Coach Price before this game, he said they're not looking at this as an exhibition game. This will tell him a lot about his team this season, and he set the bar high, and he said he wants to see a win tonight, and right now with that comeback, we know that he's certainly preaching that to his players. He said if they have a win, this will put them on the map against a D1 school.
And there's Lynn University under Devin Crosby, the innovative and inspirational athletic director here under President Ross. Lynn by 1. Here's Delph backing down in the low post, took steps.
Travel, yep. Travel. It's the first really good defensive one-on-one matchup for Lynn. Did a good job on Delph trying to push him away from that block.
And Lynn has their first lead of the game, up 51-50. Here with 7:24 to play at Lynn University. This place is raucous, the DeHornley Center. Another beautiful building on the campus of Lynn University here in beautiful Boca. And just a tremendous, quaint campus in the corner of Boca Raton. Lynn University plays in the Sunshine State Conference, a conference of champions. And numerous, countless national championships come from the Sunshine State Conference across the board in all sports. And academically, terrific strength. A turnover there and a nice pick by FAU and Dorsey, defensive specialist. Rejection by James. Lynn basketball.
I almost thought there was going to be a foul called there, and there is. Rejection and loose ball foul on FAU. It's a great block. Good help weak side. Here's a foul call. Pushing the back. Easy call for the referee.
So 1-1 upcoming for the Fighting Knights. And Randy Bell, who brought this house to its feet with 3 straight triples.
Was scoreless until he hit those 3 threes.
And misses the front end. Lynn has to take advantage of those opportunities to defeat the D1 crosstown rival, FAU Owls. Good movement here by the Owls. Another block by James.
That's the right call. That's the right call. That's a really good call by the referees. I know the fans don't like it, but watch the push in the chest right here. This will be really easy to see. Yeah, see that's going to be called every time. As soon as your hands come over your forehead, automatic call for the referee.
So Massey at the line for the first time this afternoon. He has 3 points, and he rattles that one in. We are tied at 51. With a 4-year deal with Adidas worth more than $1 million in promotional allotment and price discounts for Lynn University, the largest of its kind in Division II. A win by the men's team here means all fans in attendance will get 50% off select Adidas shoes.
I mean, you and I will going to get a couple Yeezys after this, Ari?
Oh, no question about it. But Lynn turns it over. They miss the front of it, end of a 1-and-1, and then a turnover.
We talked about that about 3-4 minutes ago, is can you not just go on a run, which they did, but can you sustain the run? It can't be three-pointer, turnover. It's got to add up. You've got to chip away.
Out of the corner, Troutman just wouldn't fall. Now that one looked like it may fall for Troutman. Here's Bell, crossover dribble. James had it rejected by Delph and kept in bounds as well.
That's such a great block by Delph. It's hard to teach that. That's a God-given talent. Nice pass.
Beautiful assist.
Yeah, that's really smooth. I mean, a really, really great pass.
Holsey connects with Pfister. You're right, Mike. You were high on Peyton Holsey. You said he'd be a contributor. He certainly has.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of attacking the defense, getting into the paint, and dumping off to Delph.
So Coach Price gets a timeout. We'll send it down to Olivia.
Thanks, Ari. Well, I'm joined with a very special guest, Oliver Luck, who's the Executive Vice President of the NCAA. You're traveling from Indianapolis to Florida for this South Florida Showdown. Why was it important for you to be here at this one tonight?
You know, it's not often that there are games between Division I and Division II schools, or Division II and Division III for that matter. And it's a special moment. And you can see how much this game means to the Lynn University community. A great atmosphere, a very tight ball game, a hard one for FAU. But what makes it even more special, and really the reason for my trip, was because it's a local derby, it's a rivalry, and that's very special, right? It's clearly the best of what college sports has to offer. And so many of these kids know each other. They all played high school together, or AAU ball, or whatever. So that made it very special. So it's certainly worth my trip. I'm very much enjoying the game.
It's a very tight and exciting game for you as well. Now, this is an unconventional concept that Devin Crosby put into place here. Do you think we're going to see more of that in Division II and Division I schools?
You know, I think there are some D2 schools that enjoy playing a Division I school. I was an athletic director at my alma mater, West Virginia. We played a D2 school early in the year. And it's a nice idea. It's a good concept. It's even more, I think, more intelligent to do that when they're local schools like FAU and LYNN are, of course. So, yeah, well, we may very well see a little bit more of this, certainly in basketball. Probably not in some of the other sports where the gap may be too big, really.
Thanks so much for your time, and enjoy your time in Florida. Ari.
Thanks, Olivia. And a shot clock violation, so a missed one-on-one and 2 straight turnovers has Coach Bryson frustrated. But getting back to Olivia's interview, you could see the attention that this event has garnered, Mike.
Well, initially it was supposed to be Houston. The American Conference, Houston Cougars were going to come down here and play in the showcase, but due to the storm, it ended up kind of killing the deal, unfortunately, and that's no fault to anybody. I mean, Houston went through just a horrible situation as a community, as a city, and they've really tried to pick themselves back up, and they've done it in a nice way. But obviously, it's no fault to LYNN, it's no fault to Houston. But I think this is really cool too when you have that crosstown rival just a few minutes away to come play that home-and-home series. It's always cool. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Devin Crosby, he had this on the schedule. He had Houston originally scheduled to arrive November 13th as well. And unfortunately, due to the circumstances, can't make it. But this is outstanding. Bell trying to dribble through 3 defenders. And LYNN cannot get a shot off yet again. 5 minutes remain. They trail by 3. And LYNN had their first lead of the day, 51-50.
Third steal for Halsey. He's been all over the place for Florida Atlantic.
There's Massey. It's a high ball screen from Delph. And is fouled on his 3-point attempt. And Bell displeased with that call. That's tricky, Mike, and you as a 3-point specialist, sometimes that leg comes out.
Yeah.
At the end of the shot, the defender bumps into the leg.
Yeah. Massey did a awesome job of selling that. Even if he just grazes your arm or grazes your leg, you have to sell it as a shooter. And most of the time, you are rewarded because when you're up in the air, it can be always dangerous. You know, you're calling the foul because of contact, but you're also calling the foul to protect the offensive player too.
So the Owls have increased the lead to 4. LYNN without a point over the past 3 minutes. Coach Price will send Jamal Palmer back into the game along with Michael Baez, who is scoreless. Palmer has 9 points. He and Randy Bell both with 9, 13 points for Alan Baez leading the way. Delph has 14 for FAU, leading all scores. Here's Palmer, terrific slasher, hangs, adjusts, and that one not getting the block, Delph, but he caused the air ball.
Yeah, he'll cause 5 or 6 shots a game of being missed or being a forced. You saw what Palmer had to do. He had to adjust his shot in midair because of Delph, and that'll happen 5 or 6 times throughout the game due to Delph's presence in the paint.
That's a nice take by Pfister, the senior from Lyon, France. And FAU with 9 straight points. Palmer taking it at the defense.
That's 4.
Yeah, there's the 4th.
That's 4. That's your recipe. I mean, he's going to foul. That's his bad tendency, and Palmer's figured it out.
So Delph, who tried to avoid that contact, still drew the foul. Jamal Palmer will be at the free throw line to shoot 2 when we return. What do you think, Mike? Trip to the beach after this ball game, buddy?
I'm ready, my man. I'm ready.
Right down the street here at LYNN University. Founded in 1962, wearing blue since 1962. LYNN University for people, not for profit. No more pencils or books at this school thanks to the iPad powered learning initiative. Oh, LYNN, they're hurting themselves over the past few minutes, Mike.
Missed free throws, a couple turnovers, a few forced bad shots has really ignited an FAU run. Up 8.
And now LYNN missing the front end of a 1-and-1 moments ago, missing 2 there. They're now 12 of 18 from the line today. They struggled at the free throw line last season. But those are critical points. 3.5 minutes to play, down 8.
One thing you can't do if you're Florida Atlantic, you can't get complacent. I'd still keep attacking the rim.
There's Delph. And Pfister, 7 foot and 6'10".
Yeah, see, that LYNN has to rebound the ball. You can't afford second possessions in the half court because now Florida Atlantic's going to continue to eat up the clock.
3 minutes to play, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Holsey operating, pulls up, shoots and scores.
Oh, tough, man. That's really, really tough. You could see how versatile he is.
Big bucket by Peyton Holsey. A welcome addition from the College of Charleston. O'Brien for 3. Back of the rim and nothing falling for LYNN since they took that lead, and this crowd erupted at 51-50. Since then, 11-zip shutout by FAU.
2:20 left here. If you're LYNN, you need pressure. You have to have pressure right now.
There's Delph. And a hold in the mid-block. Foul committed by Michael Baez. There's Michael Curry, 11-year NBA career.
How about the knowledge that he has that these players get to play for a coach that coached in the NBA, played in the NBA, was in management, in professional sports. I mean, just a wealth of knowledge to learn from.
Yeah, he was a terrific player. That's a good look at Curry. 4th season here, the expectations growing under Michael. Able to bring in more of his own recruits. The lead is 11. Travion Henry. Here's Baez, passed on the 3. That's one he may have pulled the trigger on, Mike.
Yeah, you need, what you do is you pump fake and then you catch and shoot.
And that is a basket interference goaltending on Worrell. And it is all FAU now, under 2 minutes to play. Coach Price will get a timeout. Take a look at this again, Mike.
It doesn't really look illegal to me. I think that's fine, but that's clearly goaltending.
So LYNN University, the iPad-powered learning has saved students up to 90% off the cost of textbooks. That was launched in 2013, the iPad initiative. Its innovative iPad-powered learning program earned LYNN Apple Distinguished School designation 3 times. And look at the classroom sizes. I mean, to me, as a mediocre student, it was just always easier to learn when you had a smaller class. I don't know how you felt, but that's something that LYNN offers.
I'm still trying to figure out how to work my iPad, Ari. I mean, we're going to class with strictly off iPads. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
The lead is 13. O'Brien tries to dance along the baseline. Baez shoots the 3 this time strong. And LYNN just stuck on that 51 number.
Yeah, they need a couple of those to go down. Just kind of a forced foul by Palmer. A little bit of a frustration foul. Florida Atlantic did a good job, though. They stayed patient. LYNN went on a really good run that was catapulted by 3 trifectas in a row by Bell. The Owls maintained their composure. They went back inside. They found Delph a few times. Holsey knocked down a couple jumpers. Pfister's been active on the glass. Doing a good job.
And there are some FAU fans here in the crowd right behind the Owl bench, enjoying the action. Packed house at the DeHornley Center. Henry had it stripped. And we talked about Lynn's lack of execution, Mike, but you really have to credit the FAU defense. They have been stout.
Yeah, really good. Their half-court defense has been good. In the first half, the press was good. They were up-tempo, they were aggressive, they were active. Looked like they ran out of steam right around that 8-minute mark, Ari, and you felt like, well, what's FAU going to do? So they took away the press for a few minutes. They put Delph down there in the paint. They ran that amoeba matchup zone, and it was just a little too effective, and Lynn couldn't quite figure out, if they weren't making a three, they could not figure out how to score points.
Lynn University trying to battle back here. They've got 6 colleges that offer 40 undergraduate degrees and nearly 20 graduate doctoral degrees here in Boca. 30 student clubs. There's Baez. O'Brien lays it in. Off a nice assist from Michael Baez.
Get a press and go for a quick steal. If not, you got a foul. Nope, not gonna do anything. They're gonna dribble it out.
Under a minute to play. About a 30-second differential, but Academic now 66-53.
Well, even you and I might be able to figure that equation out, Ari.
Another thing I could figure out is we're paying full price for Adidas shoes.
There you go. Another good shot for Delph. He's had a really nice game. You know, he's hit a couple outside jumpers, been the beneficiary of a couple great alley-oop plays. He's going to be good, Ari. I think he can be, if he stays out of foul trouble, I think you and I both agree FAU has a chance to be one of the better Conference USA teams. What a great job by Lynn University. You know, I think they did, this is a win for them. Packed house, you're on ESPN. This is an unbelievable atmosphere. The community got behind it. It is a special event. I had an awesome time. You felt that the fans, the community, the students really love being a part of this event, and this should be a mainstay for Lynn University athletics.
Oh, I absolutely agree. This is starting with the South Florida tailgate party at 1 o'clock, 80 and sunny, no humidity. It's November,
right?
And this place is packed. You see the enthusiasm and the community endorsement of these two programs getting together.
You have a chance to be really good basketball. I think Lynn can be really good, especially under Coach Price. They're going to be fine. They're going to get better. And that hat tips off to FAU. A good job of sustaining their lead in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
And FAU down the stretch, too strong defensively. They shut down Lynn's offense. They win it 68-53 here at the DeHornley Center from Lynn University.